Good evening, friends. Can you tell October is my favorite month of the year? We want to welcome you to FCTV's Poetic License, October 2022, a virtual open mic for sharing live original poetry, prose, comedy, and acoustic music. My name is Donna Scheer, and tonight's suggested theme is haunted. Well, some people say haunted, whatever you want. Thank you, Tony Sedir, our hard-working producer, for leading us through this evening's taping. And thank you, FCTV, for providing such high-quality broadcasting. Offerings like The Conversation, which is a program about equity and racial justice. On November 8th, FCTV will be covering the midterm elections live on Channel 13. Falmouth Town Meeting will be broadcast live on Channel 15. October 31st is not only Halloween, but also the day that FCTV's new improved website will be unveiled. And the program Falmouth in Focus, which I love to watch, has a new co-host. Joining Michael Kasparian is FTV Membership and Outreach Coordinator, Queen Carberry Banda. All the news that's fit to print. Speaking of memberships, remember a single membership is still only $30 a year. That's a bargain, and it's a wonderful way to show support for our local TV station, fctv.org. And now, performers, it is the pinnacle portion of the evening, your creative shares. When I read your name, unmute your mic, please repeat your name. Everyone has a 4-minute time slot. Now I'm going to start us off. Again, my name is Donna Scheer. Like most people, I remember where I was when 9/11 occurred. But even more memorable for me was a visit to the site, which has haunted me all these years. The poem I'm going to read is called Ground Zero, and it was published on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 in a New York collection of poetry called Twin Towers, Twin Decades. Ground Zero. Looking up, there was too much blue. Blue above, but below, steel-bellied cripples. One felled and twisted like a stroke victim lying on her back with her metal skirt ruckled up. Another leans tender innards spilled, edged in widow's weeds, sprawled in an unchecked, abject winter chill. All around, a dark carnival, crowded and blurred. Photos and banners choking the church fence with emotion. Thousands of fervent paper cranes flown from Asian children on the wings of horror. Looking up, a solitary bird flies into the aching blue. A man, eyes closed, turns his sorrow to the warmth of an uncertain sun. Haunting, haunting, haunting. All right, my darling friends, it's your turn now. Let's see, on my list, Donna Hammer. So good to see you back again, my friend. Live from Woods Hole Community Hall.
Yes, hi everyone. It's great to be here. It's a good theme. I'm going to sing a song for you that's a love song about being haunted by a lover in your dreams. It's a song I wrote. It's called Still in My Dreams.
Mm.
Heart to heart, body and soul, we've got a love that is strong and whole. Hand in hand, face to face, oh, what we share can never be erased, for you are still in my dreams. Eye to eye, spirit and mind, we've got a love that is hard to find. Earth and sky, water and fire, we can lift each other higher and higher, for you are still in my dreams. And when we're apart, you appear in the dark, haunting my heart with your sweet Wing to wing, sun and moon, we've got a love that is really in tune. Boy and girl, friends to friend, I know this love will never end, for you are still in my dreams. Oh, you are still in my dreams. Yeah, you are still in my dreams, my dreams, my dreams, my dreams.
Oh, Donna, that was so gorgeous. And
Thank you.
yes, sometimes memories are even more vibrantly alive because they are haunting.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nicely done, sweetheart.
Thank you. It's great to see you. Happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you're haunted by love and by good spirits.
Yeah.
All
Thank you.
right, I have to go. I'm trying to get a choir going here together at the Woods Hole Community Hall called the World Unity Choir. But right now it's just me. So come
Oh,
on down on Thursday nights from 7 to 9 if you want to come and sing songs about the world, for the world.
thank
All
you,
right.
Donna. Thank you. I hope we can try to drum up some business too.
Okay, great. All right. It's great to see you. All right. Much love. Bye.
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 Ah, well, Wayne struck. Wayne stuck. Sorry.
Okay.
You did not strike out. You are here. So glad to see you too.
Thank you.
So we have 2 music in a row, which is, I couldn't be happier. I'm so happy. I can't wait to hear what you have to share.
Thanks a lot. Well, my song, I grimaced and wrestled with this for a couple of weeks. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with Haunted, but I decided to focus on the home that we live in, and any kind of haunting things that I feel when I'm there. I've only been there 4 years now, but 44. I'm 44 years from this town where I'm sitting right now. I'm in Londonderry, New Hampshire, and unannounced, but of course, but here babysitting my grandson. So, but I'm focusing on the house in Falmouth. Excuse me while I make sure I have some sound here. This old house is haunted. It's plain to see. Each room that I go to, folks are waiting for me. I go to sit on the living room couch to watch some TV there. Then mom's cries come out. Use the plastic covers, leave no crumbs in there. On summer days, I'm stretching on the deck before my daily 5-mile run. I can still hear Dad's voice imploring me to get 2 gin and tonics and sit with your dear old dad before you run. Huh? While watching an old War II flick that showed how easily we won the big war, I stare at the encased American flag on the fireplace and hear him say, I don't remember it that way. And I was over there, son. On hot summer noontimes, when the kids were out running around, I still hear my mom yell to our cottage from the main house, oh so proud. Please tell Mary I'm cooking a shoulder now. Oh yeah, I will. She's sobbing right now. Our girls throw their toys down with a crash and a bam. They run real fast to Pop Pop. Please, let's go to Seafood Sam. Some days when I need his ride on more, and it just won't start. He's standing right beside me saying, give her the time, I know she'll start. Remember, she's just like me, just another old fart. One evening, an old comic on TV brings my mom back into the room. My imitation of that comic always made her laugh and changed her sometime awful moods. My family can remember how she could bring rain to a sunny day. But she often sits beside me here, smiling whatever music I sing or play. I think I only own one area of this newly furbished home. Down the hobbit stairs backward, all designed by a garden gnome. I often retreat to the basement tool room, fixing projects unfinished. My dad is staring me in the face here. Magic marker tool shapes all over the walls, showing me where the tools were and should be placed when I'm finally finished. I promised him I would keep this place and pass it on to when I'm departed. He passed away as I held his hand at almost 97. And so for me, I'll stay here as long as I can in this seaside haunted earthly heaven. Oh, sorry.
You're muted, Donna.
Jeepers creepers. Sorry about that. I said thank you for the tour of your house, Wayne. That was awesome. My favorite part was when you were talking about your mom and how you could always make her laugh when you imitated the comedian. I mean, those are the kind of memories that is why we cherish places where we've known other people. It was very Arlo Guthrie-ish. That's what struck me. No, really, that's what made me think of that.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I'm sorry, I didn't get a lot of support for in the family for putting my mom in there. There's some pretty strong feelings in the family, and even my wife thinks that I was maybe used a little bit too often to like make her happy or something growing up. But I kind of disagree. I think I think I understood her a little better than my sister. I was adopted into the family. I'm not a Stook. I was born Wayne Coker. And so I think my sister had a problem that kind of stemmed from her grandmother, my mother's mother, and my mother. I think all three of them have had a little problem with depression when they were alive. So, I didn't mind being the funny guy in the house or the musician. So.
Well, it was a lovely tribute to the house and all the memories. And Wayne, every family has a child who's the comic. So, that's normal. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, Maria Silverman is here tonight. Yay. How are you, darling?
Very well, thank you. Happy to be here.
Mama.
Oh. Pardon me 1 second. This is the time I need this, and then you can have it back.
No.
Okay?
No.
Yes. Sorry.
Our pleasure, Maria.
Thank you. My name is Maria Silverman. I have 2 offerings tonight. The first is an excerpt from a longer poem that I wrote last night about Samhain, which is the Celtic festival that became Halloween, in which they used to carve root vegetables because pumpkins were not native there. So just a little bit of that. And then the second piece is called Walking in the Snow. And it's something I wrote during the pandemic On a night I was very lonely, so I conjured a meeting with somebody I had never met. To Samhain, or the end of Samhain. I lop the top off the turnip, severing the root, the peppery flesh falling white onto the ground, digging fiercely to make a cavity, a hole where one hadn't been, and then jam the knife into the eye, into the ear, into the teeth, into the tongue, describing a face with knife thrusts. With the squash, I rip its flesh out. With the pumpkin, I seize its seeds, and then find the spirits hidden there in the lumpy flesh and lined skin. Setting them on fire, they find their souls. Once lit, they lean on the window, glowering into the glass. We are in the time of fire. We are in the time of fog. We are in the time of wandering in the dark. We are in the time of transforming. We are in the time of becoming. We are in the time of rotting. We are in the time of rooting. We are in the time of mystery and of magic. We are in the time of getting lost. We are in the time of marking what we found. And this is walking in the snow. I used to fall asleep listening to my heartbeat echoing in the pillow filling, like footsteps in the snow. It was a lonely sound, but I kept trying to stay awake to follow a lone man walking through the snow at night. A boy, really, only 14 and 3 months walking from Kiev to Hamburg, across snowy fields and empty mountaintops, through icy rivers and strange faces. He kept walking. In a German city, he was imprisoned for having no identity. In an American city, he was imprisoned by the sign on the corner, his identity erased by the South Shore Country Club. No Jews or dogs allowed. He sailed a sea in steerage from Cyrillic to softly accented English. He waited in lines that wound through a great hall, always changing direction as soon as he found it. A hall I would later navigate looking for the path of his feet in the polished stone. He went to the station and pulled thread through the hem of a country he stitched from a train. He ran in iron, smoothing over hills he traversed, steam rising like the mists of morning. He turned foreign coins in his new pockets, like the stones he had pulled from nameless riverbeds. He shook the newspaper pages stiff as doors closing in a town where you don't speak the dialect. He hummed popular tunes along with the radio, harmonizing harvest moons into Meine Fegele. He wrote his 3 sons' faces with ink that stained my son's features into being. He laid his eldest son in the ground he found after walking his route into roots. And after that, he went to shul, listening for his uncle's voice in the old prayers said in the new place. I never learned the song of his voice or the smell of him soaked into his suit collar. I have his samovar, but I don't know how to brew its story. But I heard him walking in the night. I never knew until now it was his path I heard in my pillow, walking me into existence, walking me to sleep, walking with me now, his hand on my back.
Beautifully done, Maria. um, I always wondered what Samhain meant, what it was all about. I love the images you had, for what that means, it was sort of to every season, turn, 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 that kind of a rhythm that was going on. I love that. And the second one, so beautiful, so haunting, a little beautiful, but kind of dark. Oh, golly, you're a very talented poet. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
And your child too. Thank you for that sweet little voice.
I was glad it stayed as quiet as it did. Thank you.
Tony, I think it's time we say hi to John Jackson. John Jackson is a limerick writer who has been with Poetic License since the very, very, very first live at the studio, program. And he is in Mendocino right now, helping with his mother-in-law. But he's with us tonight through the miracle of the ether.
Some things that I've written or did. Nothing spectacular, nothing sordid. To those of you whom are meeting by Zoom, I apologize. I'm pre-recorded. Poetic license or something other. A road trip with my bride and my mother. To what end we know? We are in Mendocino. But I can do both since I had my druthers. My name is John Jackson. My gig is limericksofprotest.com. I am recording this in advance of tonight's taping because I'm not in Falmouth. What can I say? So, a brief look at the last month's news. Souvenirs are for the sentimental. Classified? Let's not be judgmental. When he's angry, we find, declassify with his mind. Does this mean he is temperamental? NASA usually tries to avoid having their spacecraft destroyed in a space junk collision. This time their mission was to smash up a small asteroid. In Florida, from the Caribbean, no passport or green card for Ian. Banished to Martha's Vineyard? He tries, it's been heard. What a mess for DeSantis to be in. Europe and US are vexed as bits of Ukraine are annexed. Is Russia's goal reclaiming control? Does Soviet reunion come next? Interesting times, goes the curse, but grim and boring is worse. Looming global recession can lead to depression. Can I take it from bad to verse? 1492, Europeans crossed the Sea of Blue. Myth lied. The original people, aboriginal, were civilized, not ignorant nor few. That big bridge from Russia to Crimea. Last week someone had the idea to try something rash, make it go boom and then crash, and other fine onomatopoeia. They gave that comb-over hyena a suppression... Rewind. They gave that comb-over hyena a unanimous congressional subpoena. He won't do anything with, except pleading the fifth, wasting a perfectly fine public arena. People will fight tooth and nail for the sacred cow, the holy grail. It's hard to resist, but they do not exist, so the struggle is destined to fail. Is the Donald a Tom Clancy fan? Spies in China, missiles in Iran? The stuff of bestseller in a Florida cellar, good reading on a gold-plated can. With sex, parents' genes are a-stitchin', but how Gregor Mendel was itchin', and he thought it wise to study fruit flies, but I wish they were not in my kitchen. Sore loser election deniers, preemptively fanning the fires, raising objections to this year's elections before voting even transpires. Election day in 1.5 weeks. Listen when the candidate speaks. We should expect a shred of respect for the office the candidate seeks. Thank you.
So I see Lynn Vitti is on the list now. Hello, hello, hello. You are a very busy woman. All good stuff. You need to unmute, darling.
The buttons were sticking. I don't know. Good to see you. I have been busy, too busy. I have 2 poems tonight. One is from my first collection, Baltimore Girls, and it's called Shades, as in ghosts, Shades at the Reunion. When we gather like this around the table, every 5 or 10 years, drinks in hand, raising toasts, in the back of our minds always are the ghosts. The cousin who died at 40 when the cancer flared, the school friend gone at barely 50, she loved her smokes. Toxins and her genes teamed up to do her in. The rest of us, we've survived so far, though we're not sure why or how, we dare not probe. My friend, the hard-edged newsman, laughed when he told me his on-air transition phrase, elsewhere in the news, as if we could move from tsunami to oil spill to death of an ex-president with any kind of grace. When he lay dying in his hospital bed in Croton-on-Hudson, this old journalist stared at TV images of Baltimore burning. It's all like it was before, he murmured. Knowing this, we sit in the cool air, September sun on our faces, hearing the songbirds carry on like Yeats' miracles in Byzantium. And I have another one, which is supposed to be queued up here. I have another one, which is really a dream poem, but I think it's a little creepy. So it's kind of Halloween-y to me. Twin Dream. He appeared out of nowhere, much younger than he is, slender, prematurely balding, full sideburns and a beard, with that urgency in his voice I remembered so well. He was breathless, agitated. A twin baby, he said. I want a twin baby. Not both, just the one. Did he want me to produce the child, push it out, find one somewhere for him? And why, I wondered, with 2 grown sons, 2 daughters raised up and on their way, would he want a baby? And why a twin? And what of the other, the second twin? Did his wife want the twin baby too? Or was this some harebrained idea leaping out of his 70-year-old head like Athena shot out of the head of Zeus? I sank back into sleep. The snowplows sent their electronic beeps up and down the street outside, backing up, punctuating each task with staccato signals, flannel sheets, feather comforter, weighed on me. I was in a sweat. The bedroom window open only a 1/4 inch, the humidifier humming, be quiet, be quiet. Still, he insisted, a baby, a twin. I propped myself up on an elbow, saw last night's book splayed open on the night table. The plows spoke to each other. I fell back asleep, this time in a dreamless state. When day came, I looked out to see the trucks had done their work, dismantled the snow hills, and carried them off. The sidewalks were cleared. Thank you.
Nicely done, Lynn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That first one, I have a friend who recently went to her reunion, And she said, she looked around and said, who are all these old people? You know, but it's the truth that, you know, along the way, some are still with us and some aren't. And that's just the way it is.
Well, that's my sad poem. I have a pretty funny one about my most recent reunion, which is who are these old people? And then looking at myself in the mirror. Oh, that I'd be one of them. Thank you.
And the second one was also the twin dream. I, I'm a twin, and I could relate to the ideas that were in there. It was definitely haunting too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Patricia Austin. Hello, hello.
Hello, I'm Patricia Austin, and I have 3 poems tonight. One's very short, one's in between, and one is dead serious. Evolution. Haunted by the animal within us. Still, we must fly through time. Even as we rise, the animal responds. We must always be wary to reach the tree beyond which there is no passing. The horizon calls. Horseshoe crabs. Oddly ugly. Haunting beauty. Symbols of unchanging, reflecting a different aspect of our world, like cobwebs in the corner of the hall. For 350 million years, they have remained unchanged. The cavemen moved on. Wars were fought over this and that. Emperors came and went. Christianity took over the world, along with its other counterparts, and still they remained unchanged until we turned our focus and noticed something else that we can use. Now we take their blood for our own medicinal purposes. In their most intimate moments with the earth, we take their women to call our supper. And now even they, like everything it seems we touch, may finally be gone forever in the course of just a few years. And this third poem is very timely. And I will say a caveat in preface right up front. I have no idea what we can do about it. I have no idea what we can do, if we can do anything. But it is dead serious. Brittany is broken. She is sobbing uncontrollably this beautiful giant is sobbing uncontrollably. The Statue of Liberty is sobbing uncontrollably. She is every American. She is every woman. She is every human. And she is broken. When we wake up to that which we are allowing, it will haunt us for eternity. Brittany Griner is broken. Will her demise symbolize the breaking of the human race and the destruction of the human experiment that says all shall live free? To do and to be. I said, I have no idea what can be done, but I hope the collective mind of all of us can put such energy and thought into saving this magnificent person, because she really is all of us. It's all of us.
Yeah. Three great, powerful poems there, Patricia. I'm too sad about the last one. I'm gonna concentrate on the middle one, which is about the horseshoe crab. I didn't realize it was 350 million years unchanged. I can't get my head around that. 350 million years. And then you're right, in the span of things, it doesn't take long to get rid of, and have no more. And that's kind of sad too. Not quite as scary as the last one, but
Sorry about that, but the horseshoe crabs, in case somebody doesn't know, they are 350 million years old, and that's why they look so strange, but they get their oxygen in their blood through copper and not iron, like all the rest of us, like everything else living that we know about. But they get it through copper, and it is so high in antioxidant. It is the strongest thing that's really ever been found to neutralize bacteria, and that's why it is so sought after. And an ounce of horseshoe crab blood sold at auction for $5,000. And that just tells you it's now like in the hands of money. So anyway, thank you.
thank you for entertaining and informing us tonight. Thank you. Rosemary Dunn Moeller. Hello. Hello.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Dunn Moeller, and I am haunted by memories, I decided. And so this is one called 9-Year-Old Delinquent. Walking home for lunch the long way, I passed the corner house on Delaware when the lady beckoned me. Go to the grocery store with this note and money and bring me some beer. I'll pay you a quarter. A week's allowance for a good deed. It's like going back 7 spaces and sorry. I went silently, holding out my message and money, receiving a brown paper bag with bottles. I got my quarter, strolled home self-satisfied until I told my mother. We marched unspeaking house, and Mom threw the quarter at the woman with an angry lecture on sin and misusing children. Then on to the grocery store where Mom threatened calling police on the befuddled, law-breaking shopkeeper. He acted as if the message written in pen on torn paper were an embodiment of the woman, as if I had carried her transubstantiated into paper and only held the money like a little girl's purse. I ascribed too much eloquence to the counterman. I learned about transubstantiation in catechism class, where I excelled for memorization. Mom was furious, would never shop there again, but wrong. I wasn't a lawbreaker, criminal, young delinquent. At 9, I understood the power of the written word, become the living presence of the woman. In my memory now, she looks to be early 20s, sad-eyed, badly coiffed, house-dressed, lonely, and needing beer at noon. Back then, she was just another adult with ridiculous requests and the power to bestow money on me. Mom said we'd never mention it again. I was never to do anything like this again. I was not to walk the long way home again. I became friends with the girl whose family moved into that house the next year. In addition to being haunted by other memories, this one was really a hard one for me. Family. And I really would love to forget about this completely, but I can't. It's called, "And Still She Steals From Me." I wake up after an unwanted dream. Her face, the smile curving at a slight angle, lips pressed too tightly together. Astounded, I thought I got over it, got past it, forgot it. It's been years. I'd cleaned my mother-in-law's house for her after she got older, weaker. Her grandson, my nephew, back from technical school, stayed in my husband's old room upstairs. She invited me to follow her there one afternoon and stood in front of the dresser. "Why did you take Matthew's money? It's not in his dresser drawer." Speechless, I stared, grinning stupidly, wondering what this woman could be thinking, until Matthew opportunely climbed the stairs, walked up to us. "Grandma, what do you need?" "You know what happened to your money?" "Sure, I took it out. Why?" "Oh, nothing. What do you want for supper?" Turned away. They walked downstairs to the kitchen, talking about fried chicken and possible rain. I followed, still grinning stupidly, thinking about the onset of dementia, knowing it wasn't. She just didn't like me. She still couldn't abide my staying with her son after 20 years of marriage. Still couldn't wait until one of us was gone. Thank you very much.
You are a brave woman.
No, I am not.
Well, to share memories like that, you are a brave woman. And the fact is, a lot of times when we write poetry, other people need to hear that they're not alone, that they have the same memories too. So thank you for being brave
I'm haunted.
and haunted. Well,
I'm haunted.
that I'm sure you're working on, darling. Oh, thank you. Sue Beth Carlson, yay, yippee!
Hi there. I have a brief PSA, and next a haiku remembrance, and last some poetry dressing as prose for Halloween. It's time to vote in this season of Halloween and masks. Forgot to get this ready. So here's my brief PSA. There are as many masks as candidates, yet something else haunts me more. That many don't recognize the value and the power that voting brings, and that it belongs to all eligible citizens. Voting, use it or lose it, pass it on. And now a remembrance of Christina Laurie. I had no idea about Christina Laurie and was so sorry to hear of her passing when I watched the September Poetic License. I'm reminded of Soar Without Limits, pairing poetry with visual art by differently abled people and their caregivers. Midway in the presentation, they discovered a piece of visual art had no partner in poetry. Kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with the precious metal like silver, gold, or platinum. It's said that the newly created art is even more beautiful than the original. It was the precious and artful repair of the broken art-poetry connection in the program by Christina Laurie, who happened to be sitting next to me, that inspired this haiku. Kintsugi of words, connecting precious glimmers, abled healing arts. Only as the haiku came to me did I begin to realize it was also painting a more global picture of the whole reception, the whole organization, the whole concept of expressive therapy. And even as with Kintsugi, our opportunities in life itself. So the synchronicity with Christina that day and with the September Poetic License endings and beginnings theme, and the spirit of Dia de los Muertos this month are positively haunting reminders of the spirituality that Christina surely felt in everything. Before I read this poem, wearing its prose Halloween costume, I want to be clear that there is great value in putting on the masks that help us, but we need to also recognize the ones that help us when we take them off. This is called Dance of the Haunting Masks. It's a time for masks, Halloween, political maneuvering before we all vote, gas masks for explosions of war and nature, monkeys and polios and variants, oh my. A time for masks, or is it? The music was so rhythmic and compelling, I just had to dance, masked in my friend's house. Always before, dancing was like air for me. It flowed through me and sustained me. Twirling and gliding around the room in momentary bliss, I suddenly found I could not breathe. They say when deprived of oxygen, you should put on your own mask first. I had to stop and briefly remove this mask from my face instead. When we remove the mask covering our pain, it connects us. It opens us to one another. Then we can once again breathe. And as we rest from it all, we can close our eyes and envision the next dance. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the public service announcement in beautiful words. Thank you for the beautiful, beautiful tribute to Christina, you know, the memory of the whole art and the collaboration that took place and so on. Just beautiful. And thank you for that final piece, you know, talking about masks, all the different ways. We need masks, we hate masks, we hide behind them, we finally get rid of them. Thank you, thank you, thank you, darling. Okay. Oh, Lisa Cantor, so good to see you again.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Cantor, and I was haunted by the fact that I have not been participating in recent poetry open mics, and I've missed you all. And so I wrote a couple of things this morning because I really wanted to be part of this tonight. So the first is called, I'm hearing an echo. Do you hear that as well? That's not part of the poem. Okay. The first one is called You Haunt Me, and I love it. You haunt me, insisting that I am more than I think. Thank you. Thank you. I do not know where this voice comes from, but you haunt me with the knowledge that I belong to something greater than I know. Thank you. Thank you. I do not know who you are or where these messages come from, but I know that I'm deeply in love with you. You see me when I don't see myself. You've been where I am, and you hold me just so. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So that's the first poem. The second one is called Haunting You, a love poem. I can't wait to haunt you. When you think you are alone, my dear, beloved, consider me nearby. After a good cry, I will be the sigh that escapes from your lungs and softens your muscles and hands you a tissue and rocks you to sleep. I can't wait to show you how fine a line of poetry may be, one you just happen to find while winding through old scripts of sadness and pain. I'll be the light you can't see, shining and guiding you right where you need. That's me. And after a particularly hard week, when you turn the corner on October and eek, you see children and goblins and confections around, you feel time lost and children grown right up from the ground. You feel the deep cost of a life already lived, and then suddenly come aware of your gifts. Turn around, boo, I'm still here. That's right, it's me. So remember, when lights dim and fall, dark descends, that sense that you're all alone is really a lark. It ends. Darling, come with me, please, and let go of your woes. We'll be Buddhas together and sit under trees shared by demons and nightmares and cravings galore. And while there, viewing our worst and most ghoulish horror, we'll laugh together. Ah, it's you I adore.
Thank you.
Equal opportunity. You're haunted and you can't wait to be haunted. And you
I can't wait to haunt.
haunt. You
Yes.
can't wait to haunt. That's awesome. Beautiful, beautiful love poems. Thank you. Unexpected, but so grateful. Thank you.
Great to see you all. Thank you.
Well, let's see. Oh my gosh, we are, yikes. We are almost over. Many people believe houses may hold on to the lives and the emotions of the people who have lived there. Some call these lingering vibrations ghosts or spirits. I call them after images of energy. And my final poem is called To the New Owner. To the new owner. Does she ever descend the front steps to the stony beach over a hill of tree-dotted cottages, through morning rippled golden at the jetty? Will she ever hang her hopes in the closet as she hangs her paintings on fresh white walls? Or fear the wind battering the glass face, fragile, fronting the northeast? Would she survey beauty from the back porch? Build a bikini-clad snow girl lounging on a chair, beer bottle in hand, and photograph for her friend in Florida? Might she hear music? A fat cat yowling at Barbie-like children, honky-tonk piano riffing in the oven, a constant shuffle and snap of cards. And at night, will she toss, sleepless, under the weight of our angry years, effigied side by side beneath the coverlet, one of us lovelorn, one of us loveless, all of us haunted? Thank you, and thank you. This edited performance will be shown on FCTV channel 13, as well as its YouTube channel, or with an FCTV app. You could also watch it on Roku and Apple TV. Friends who are watching, if you wish to be a performer, please reach out and join us. You can sign up by texting Tony's email, tony@fctv.org. Our next poetic license will be the first Thursday in December, which happens to be December 1st. The suggested theme is an attitude of gratitude. Thank you again, Tony, for your wonderful help. Thank you, cherished performers. I love you and your top-notch talents. So until we meet again, peace and shine on, everybody.